Hello subscribers and watchers, this is Vivs from slidenerd here. In this video, which is our second video of the list fragment, let me show you guys how the list fragment works exactly in Android Studio with the help of a simple example. So what I have in Android Studio is nothing but a blank app or a project. I have a main activity which has nothing inside. You go to the layout, there is nothing inside. And if you go to strings.xml, I have a string array called heroes, which has Batman, Superman, Green Lantern, and of course our latest addition, Arrow, to that list. So what I'm gonna do is use these elements, or you can say these data items, and make a simple list fragment out of that. So the first thing we need to do is go here and make our list fragment. So I'm gonna take the package, click new, Java class, give it a name, and there you see our simple class has been created. Now to make this a fragment, I'm gonna say extends, sorry, it's gonna be list fragment this time. So I'm going to say list fragment, and we are done. Now the next thing we need to do is obviously make a layout for this list fragment. Now remember, it is not necessary that you make a layout, because even if you don't specify any layout, Android is automatically going to give a default list appearance to the list view inside this fragment. So otherwise we are going to make a layout in this in our case. So I'm going to go to layout here, and I'm going to say layout resource file, give it some name, click OK. So here, this is my layout file. Now since I am making my own layout, I'm supposed to put a list view and an optional text view over here. So let me first put the list view by going here to our container section, dragging and dropping it, stretching it all the way to the right, which is done automatically. Now this list view needs to have a very specific ID, because Android attempts to find the list view at runtime for your fragment. So I'm gonna go here and write Android ID/list. And now I'm going to add a text view. Now this text view is a very special kind of text view. It will be displayed only when there are no items inside the list view. So I'm going to go to the design tab again, going to the top, plain text view, put it at the bottom here, go to text again. This needs to have a special ID so that it can be triggered only when the list view is empty. So I'm going to say Android ID empty. So with that being said, things are pretty much done for us. Now let's go back to our list fragment. And now what we need to do is link this layout to our list fragment. Now that can be done inside the onCreateView method. So I'm going to say onCreateView. And here, as you guys notice, by default there is some super statement. I'm going to remove that. I'm going to say inflator, which is our layout, inflator dot inflate r dot layout dot my list fragment container false. Now exactly how this inflator method works is something I have covered in two separate videos called the layout inflator in my playlist, because there's a lot of things to discuss about that. I'm not gonna do that here. If you guys are not sure about this, please go back and check those two videos out. Now the next thing I need to do is, well, set the adapter, get the data and stuff like that, right? So that is going to be done inside the onActivityCreated method. So I'm gonna say onActivityCreated, and it calls a super by default. Now what I need to do is create an adapter from this data source, that is string array over here, and then set the adapter, right? Because the adapter is responsible for managing data. So I'm gonna go to my list fragment, and I'm gonna say ArrayAdapter dot create from resource. As you guys can see, it directly gives me this method create from resource that is gonna bring this string array from my XML file into my Java code. So for this there are three things that I need to pass. One is the context. Now context is not directly accessible inside my Android fragment, so I'm going to say get activity here, which is going to work like a context. And then the second parameter is going to be the array that we want, that is r.array.heroes, and this is the same array that you see over here, which is called heroes over here. Third parameter is going to be the appearance of a single row inside our list view, or you can say a single item inside our list view. Android.r.layout.simple.list_item1 will be the appearance. Now if you guys are not sure what this contains, I have discussed about this in a other video of my list view. If you guys can go back and check it out, that would be great. But for now, let's just stick to the stuff. So I'm going to say ArrayAdapter adapter equals to this, so that this one statement takes care of bringing the data from my XML into my Java code, and also giving a certain appearance to each and every individual piece of data. In other words, every string inside my string array. So now what I'm gonna do is set the adapter by saying set list adapter. So that's all we need to do. And now if you guys want to handle the event click, let's do that as well. Again, we have covered about how this listener works and stuff. So here I'm gonna simply get the list view by saying get list view dot set on item click listener this, and inside the on item click listeners method, which is called each time the user clicks on an item in the list view, I'm gonna simply display a toast message by saying toast dot make text. I'm gonna simply reveal the item and its position by saying item and I. So that pretty much takes care of everything. But remember, now our list fragment is treated just like any other fragment that we have. So we want to make sure that we add this either to our activities XML through our XML way of adding fragments, or through our Java code using fragment transactions. So I'm gonna add this here in our activities XML file. So here I gotta go to the design tab, go at the bottom, select fragment here, select my list fragment as you guys notice here, click OK. Again click OK. Android Studio does not recognize that in the first time. I'm gonna put it here, stretch it all the way, and we are done. Now you could also go to our main activities code here inside the onCreate and create a fragment transaction and say transaction.add, and that would also work because this is treated just like a fragment. The only difference is this has an embedded list view inside whose ID is @ID/list, right? So that would work perfectly. So let's run this and see how things work. So as you guys notice over here, our onCreateView method inside the list fragment is first called. There the inflation is performed for that layout. Then our onActivityCreated gets called, where the data has been put inside the adapter, and that adapter has been used to build our list view inside our list fragment. So when we click on an item, it's simply gonna bring the toast message over there that represents the appropriate index. For example, the first item clicked is gonna say item 0, and so on. So this pretty much completes the basic layout. Now of course you're welcome to make your own row. Maybe you want an image over here and you want a text over here. I have covered this in my earlier video about list view customization with a base adapter and an array adapter. You have to do the same thing here. Create your own adapter that extends some class and then define how it's going to represent the data with the get view method. So I hope you guys have understood something about how the list fragment works. If you like what you saw, please like this video, let your thoughts on the comments below, subscribe to our channel, and support us in any way you can. Thank you very much. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a nice day.